that we want to do is set the proper lookup wizard. You have the question that I wrote, right? So let's look at how do we do that. Alright, so let's say we like to apply that in the state name, city name, or even gender, right? Like if I have customer, I want to add the field's name gender, right? I can actually do the drop box, right? This is called lookup wizard. Alright, so pay attention to this. How do we do this? We switch back to the design view again. Whenever you want to modify the properties of the fields, we go to the bottom of the field, select the fields, and the bottom of the fields we have what? Same, we have format, input mask, validation rules. We talk about those, right? Validation rule, input mask. Now we're going to do lookup wizard. So we can actually go through here, lookup wizard, type. And then it's going to pop up with, do you want to look up wizard from another table? Like we can do the list of all the city and states or the zip codes in the US. If we have another table for that, right? Like the list of states, the list of cities, or the list of zip codes, right? Then we don't have to spend time to type them in manually, right? And this is, we can do type in, like in this case gender, male, female, we can actually type them in, like male, female. And now the reason we want to do lookup because of what? Think about at the point of data entry, it's going to be lookup now. If you don't have this, what is the problem? If you don't have input max, if you don't have validation rules, if you don't have the lookup wizard to help, some data entry may be just lazy and just want to say M for male, F for female. But we actually want the standard to be like that. You see what I mean? So we can always add a new customer. Right, Minnie Mouse. Right, that should be a female, right? So that's probably why we want that. Like if you don't make these rules, the data entry just want to do whatever they want, and it could be no standard, no template, and inaccurate. Like email can be anything that invalid, and we cannot really contact to the customer. So that's why we like to see it that way. Now come back to, let's see the list. So we talk about creating the table, assign proper keys, set up input max, validation rules. So we must get those scores, set the proper lookup wizard. We just did that. Now let me show you again. Besides like lookup wizard by typing them in, you can also look up from another table, right? So from another table, I have the list of table for you to use. If you go to, this is like I got it from online. It's going to show you the zip code and the city and state in the US, and resources right here at the bottom of the part 2 page. If you click on that, it should take you to my OneDrive or SkyDrive there to give you a chance to download. Let me just download it. Then we can use this, and that's public, so everybody should be able to access to that. Or you can just Google and find a zip code database.lsx. You're gonna find it. So now save as. So I just download this. Now remember last time I tried to show you import Excel to Access, right? We're going to do that first, correct? Since we have this Excel, we're going to import to Access now. So right, how to do that again? Go to tables, right? Database tools. external data. Okay, and we import from Excel. I'm going to get it from my downloads, right? Zip code. Click OK. It's going to import that into this table, and so this is an example data that's going to come in. So next, you can change the name of the fields. I'm going to leave it as default. Choose my own primary key. If you want, you can use zip code to as a primary key, right? And the name of the table, let's name zip code table, and it should come here after import right there. I open it up, I have this. Now I'm pretty much ready to do the lookup wizard drop down box to my customer table. You see, I don't need to really spend time to type the city by my own. Actually, it should be address, right? The address table here, right? So before I have to type them in. Now I am going to do the lookup wizard. So let's test first with zip here, lookup wizard, right? And if you really think about this before we move on, this table I don't really need city and state anymore. It's like redundancy, right? Because my zip, look up my zip, I get a city and state. City, state. It can give you latitude and longitude too. So that means my customer, my address, I don't need them anymore. I'm going to delete these fields. That makes sense? I only need zip and look up to that table. I know state and city. So now what I need to do is I just need to fix this zip and do the lookup wizard. Now I'm not going to type in manually because it's going to be too many. That's why I have another table to link to. So go to next and do a zip code. And now you can pick the fields that you're interested to look at. Time zone or the city, state. Now I'm going to look at those two. County, okay, 3. You can do country, regions, and so on. But now I'm going to just look at those. And then you can do ascending or descending orders by, okay, do by state or by zip, by city, then zip, that's the order. Okay, so I'm done pretty much. So switch back. There you go. So it's going to show you the state, right? It's look up to a zip, that's why. So this can be my, if I wanted to show zip, I need to add the primary key to my zip code. Since I use primary key as my zip code, that's why it never shows zip here. If I wanted to show zip, I need to change this to have primary key. Okay, I'll show you one more time for that one. But let's make this as, you can say this guy live in this city with a zip, state, and everything is show up. Okay, now let me show you again. I'm going to delete this and let's do this again.